16. Oh, we just need 2 damage. And that is from a hero power, and that's it. That's it? Really? That's it? No, that was not too strong, then. That was not too strong. Oh, I don't really care about that. But that might be just enough, like, you know, for him to kind of sustain here. Well, I guess not. That's an exactly so, my dude. There's 7. Oh my god. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Have you ever seen or even thought of the combo? Oh my bro. Who else would try it if not me, right? I'm showing it one time. That is how you win games right now. How are you doing there? This dude will have nightmares today. That was not even close, right? Top 100. So today we're playing this deck, which is a new edition of an Zerg Egg Hunter. This deck appears to have like almost 70% win rate so far in about like 4,500 games. This deck is extremely strong and really aggressive so far. You have like all the early tempo with eggs going on, but you can also trigger death rattles. You can also buff the minions with a +1 attack. You have this new really exciting card out there to buff a minion, and if you have like all of those minions stick on the board with all those X and stuff, this rattle will bounce. So you have like a lot of things going on for you. You have a lot of cheap minions, you have a lot of X for you, you have Patchwork Pals to buff it out, and you have Hydralisk to actually deal a lot of damage from a hand. You have a Kerrigan obviously for you to like, you know, to go into mid game. But overall the deck is like, you know, the aggressions that we need, considering that we have a lot of control decks right now going on. So at this point, like, we have to test it out, how fast it is, how good it can be on a ladder, and like, you know, a win rate so far actually tells us that this deck is doing extremely well. So let's jump right in.
Rexa versus AFK.
Oh, against the mage.
Give me a few more minutes.
Give me a few more minutes. Okay, it's kind of like a 1-drop for us, right? I'm concerned on Zilliax, but I don't really have like a lot of swarm going on for me. Let's leave the 1-drop and a 2-drop, right? Just in case. Just in case Kerrigan pops out in our hand, though. Hyena with Rush. Pretty solid though. It's a 1-1. Choose one. Okay. Choose one of cards for every class is kind of like, you know, exciting. So discover Mage spell or discover Druid spell. Interesting. Very interesting zone. I kind of think we need a Nydus Worm for us to find all those little Zergies. For Hydralisk to be extremely efficient though. Plus we need to be a little mana efficient here, right? So let's do that. Another Nydus Worm, not really exciting. Evolution Chamber, not really exciting too though. As it is for now, we're not developing the board. But we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. Here power into a hyena on turn 3 early.
That wasn't in the stars.
Okay. 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 See what you're doing out there. See what you're doing out there. Do I go for a mission? Another Nydus Worm, maybe? Yeah, I guess so. Here's a spawning pool for us with this one. And a Hydralisk. Well, not excited now. Okay, let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Leo and Hopper is kind of like, you know, in our hand. Not really in a rush to summon those. Oh, shield battery though. Okay, interesting. Resonance core, okay. We need some more Zergs, I would say. We need a lot of damage to his base. He'll have all those armor up cards. It'll be pretty hard for us to actually, like, you know, destroy them. Combo it costs 2 less. Okay. 2 mana to destroy a battle cry trigger brand new death rattle. Well, we can do a workhorse. That is strong. That is strong for us to develop a board like this, I guess. A really good turn 5, I would say. Because we have a lot of bows. We have a Leok, we have a Illusion Chamber here. We have the Bouncy Cine, Amphibian Spirit, right? Pretty cool. Let's see, a Crossbow from the Spark of Light. Interesting. And a Rising Wind. Fine. We have an Arcesium, RC Rampage here. I'm kind of like curious what I want with it though. I guess I want Zergling, obviously. I guess this thing out. Kind of want 4 RC Rampage stuffers. Do that for now, just to be mana efficient though. Kind of like a huge strat for him, it's 22 damage, and he's out of first Horizon Waste, right? If he has a second one, he'll clear half of the board. He'll still need like some extra damage going on. Sleet Skater, not too bad, I would say. Hydralisk is out there for us, so. Another spawning pool. I guess we can like do a Bouncy Cine. Can do a Bouncy Cine right here for us to trade a 3-4. Sorry about that. We'll do that now. Well, here's an interesting thought though. I kind of think a Hydralisk is a little better for us to, like, you know, to do as much damage as possible. It's a +4, and that's like a little bit. So I guess that is fine to do Hydralisk like this. So turn 7, like full board, or damage into his head, into his face. Now let's see what's up, right? The bounce was not really exciting because the minion was frozen, so unfortunately for us. Another Sleet Skater, interesting. More armor for him. More and more and more and more. Have 18 damage with 9 more. We can destroy like 2 Zergs here and summon a little more. For us to have kind of like a steam and hope for a Viper to get the Colossus out. To get the Colossus out. It sounds exciting though. Sounds exciting. We can do still 18 damage with a Leok. Okay, let's do that. I kind of like this idea a little more. For us to have a better hero power, right? For us to have a better hero power that will deal much more damage. I think it's kind of like a game is still out, right? Okay, should be better now. Another shield battery, and the resonance coil, okay. Well, we hope obviously for a Viper. We need to target that specific Colossus out there in his hand. Plus he like, you know, he dumps his hand really heavily there, minus another minion from his hand, so we're like really, it's a really high chance for us to get it out. Unfortunately we didn't get a wiper. 16, oh, we just need 2 damage, and that is from a hero power, and that's it. And it's pretty solid. I didn't really consider that, like, how weak his turn was. He just, like, destroyed a couple of minions, and that's it. My god, that is probably the aggressions that we need. That is kind of, like, cool. Hunter is back into the meta, I would say. Hunter was out there for, was out of it for good, for quite a while. It was always, like, somewhere, like, in the top 10, right? Some kind of, like, Hunter deck, like a Discover. Some like, you know, on the low ranks, something like a Secret Hunter was there always, right? Some Mystery Egg Hunters were out there at some point. It's pretty decent. Well, those are pretty good cards to develop, I would say, playing against, like, what's that? Shaman. Spawning Pool turn 1, Patchwork Pals turn 2. Terrible chapter 3. Well, that's kind of fine. Let's just lose it out. Not really like in a mood for you know, for throwing the cards just to get like a 1-drop here. The shaman. A shaman. I'm kind of wailing my coin here for a little more flexibility so far. Bird watching. So Turbulus is in his hand, right? I mean, in his deck. Workhorse is a little more aggressive than Terrible Chap. Maybe we should summon both. Let's go. Workhorse just like deals 4 damage already. And with a Death Rattle to deal 4 more. And Terrible Chap is kind of like dealing 2 damage with a Death Rattle to deal 4 more, right? So it's kind of like better to summon actually a Workhorse here. Okay, the 4 damage to your face. I've seen some people actually try out Nebula Shaman.
The menagerie is for guests.
Menagerie? What is going on out there? Who are you? Where's this guy? In the menagerie. There's a menagerie. Evolution chamber. So I guess we're spawning Zergs like crazy, right? We're spawning Zergs like crazy, though. So that's pretty decent. 10 damage into his face. Turn 4, he's at 16, and we are threading a lethal. Exact lethal on turn like 4. Like turn 5 for him, right? So he might be dead turn 5 if he doesn't have like any kind of response, but he does. Okay. But he does. So that's 8 damage, that's 12 damage for us right now. Triangular. 0 Kerrigan as well. So I guess that is a Nebula. Maybe I'm just like my guess. Not sure though. Not sure though. Okay, I was just like trying to Lisa once more. Let's try and Lisa once more. Let's kill him turn 6, I guess, right? Oh my god, that was a huge. Okay, that was really huge for him. I guess we can do another terrible, like a terrible chap here. Both versions of those. Minions will stick and let's kill him next, right? Let's kill him turn 7. We could kill him turn 5, we could kill him turn 6. He somehow survived everything. Now we can kill him turn 7, okay. It's strong. That is strong though. So what is up, my dude? Can't even clear efficiently because the axe is there, right? Because that will be 8 damage after. He has to like clear twice. Baking soda. Well, he probably has a second one, and he might actually draw that just to heal for 6, right? Just to heal for 6. But he increases the damage by 4, so it's kind of like, you know, an efficient heal for 2. That symbolizes a hex. Bro, I don't really care about that. Bro, I don't really care about that. But that might be just enough, like, you know, for him to kind of sustain here. Well, I guess not. That's an exactly so, my dude. There's 7. Oh my god. And he had pretty much 0 chance, right? Like, his deck is really slow. He was not fighting for a tempo. He was just trying to survive somehow till his like later explosive turns, but it's like the deck is too fast. You have to have a lot of ward clears. For you to have a lot of ward clears, you have to actually make the deck specifically with a lot of ward clears. But if you're like face, for example, an armor DH, you're like, you know, you're 100% dead zone. That's an interesting meta that we will go into play. You're either like all in against an aggro, or you're all in against things like an aggro, armor DH. Well, against an armor DH will be nerfed at some point. This should not happen. Like, you know, this is cancer, right? This is too much. Oh, that's kind of like an exciting turns. Exciting turn like the Zerg Egg plus a Con plus a Hydralisk Copter. That's strong. Okay, let's leave that out. I kind of like the starting hand here. Well, the fact that it's like each time we have a starting hand that actually, like, you know, satisfies us so far, tells us that this deck kind of have all the good cards, right? And that is important. That is important for you to have, like, you know, all the good cards out there. That you can actually play on first turns, not to skip too much, right? Not to skip the aggression, not to skip like anything so far. Okay, let's see. We have a Hydralisk, so if you cannot like remove those guys, our Hydralisk can actually fight for more tempo, right? And after that we have an Evolution Chamber plus an Amphibian Spirit. Well, here you go. And that's exactly what we need, is skip of the turn from him. And skip of the turn from him. Let's hit that guy. Oh, come on, bro. I guess. Oh my god, bro. 3 50-50s. Did the guy just roll like 12% or? Oh my. The guy just rolled a 12% against me, right? I guess that's exciting. So that's Sank DK, right? Sank DK. We can do the Zergies. It's not too bad though. Not too bad of a turn. It's a 3-2. This goes here. A couple of Zergs on the board. Well, we're not efficient after. I guess a Patchwork Pals is kind of like good. The Zergies maybe later. Patchwork Pals into a Hofer or I guess a Hofer, right?
I wonder.
Or we can just buff +2/+2. And kill a T1 with... oh my... So inefficient though, everything is so inefficient, don't really like that. Because we have like spells and 0 minions. Okay, we have to prepare that. Let's do that for now. And let's leave the Zergs. And let's leave the Zergs out there, because we have a lot of evolution chambers for some weird reason. Maybe they will stick, I really highly doubt that, but you know, he might just have the card that actually draws 3 cards and summon 2 leeches and he'll clear the board. Okay, he doesn't have it. At least that happens for us. But against a Death Knight, this deck has the lowest win rate, which is 50%. The lowest win rate over 50% against a Death Knight. Can you imagine that zone? Death Knight, the strongest control against an aggro. Well, I guess that's because of the liches, right? Because you summon a lot of tokens and those liches actually clear those out. So, like, you know, if you find a way to actually make a Death Knight a good deck, you can sustain against an aggro like this and you can still win a value matchups, right? Yet again, we are inefficient, oh my, kind of like this. Oops. Animation, right? Let's hope that Israel will stick. The new weapon is kind of like exciting for DK, right? Because it's strong. If you played something like a Narrow Breach, that is a weapon, a 3/3 weapon for like how much? 2 or 3? 2 mana. Straight 3 weapon for 2 mana. Imagine that. That is huge. Asphyxiate. Asphyxiate is kind of like a card that I was considering adding into Death Knight. That is really strong. That is a really strong card though. We can do and receive Rampage plus a Leok. How about that? He doesn't have something like a Corpse Explosion. We're so fine. So fine, right? And develop that for a chamber. I guess that's a really good choice for us. I guess something like this should happen. Who's a good boy? Who is a good boy, bro? Let's hope he doesn't have like any kind of mass board clear. Something like Threats, something like Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion like clears, it keeps his cold turret but it clears, and that is what is the most important here. And we don't really like have a lot of cool stuff, we just like have all those evolution chambers that actually deal nothing on the board right now. But we're trying lethal obviously, and again on turn 6, right? So it's exciting but not too much. Because a weapon like plus a hero power cannot deal with a Leok, and that is important. Corpse Explosion will piss okay. Okay, he clears. That's fine. Xerox, Terrible Chaff, Evolution Chamber, whatever we want here, right? Whatever we want.
Twice as hot, cook twice as fast.
Whatever we want. Okay, let's go with 1 Evolution Chamber here. I think this is a little stronger. 10 damage already, plus a lot in our hand. It's a 6 from a Hoffer, plus it will buffer the remaining board. So we just kind of like need, what, 2 minions to be on the board? What do you have? You have 0 corpses. How are you planning to actually clear that? Oh, he has a 1 mana deal 4 damage, but you don't have the corpses for it, right? So he just says, okay. Oh, that's annoying. And we don't have a death rattle now. Boy. How to do an evolution chamber here? So we're kind of like all in here, right? Whatever we do. Weakness. Okay, there's a question here. There's a question here. Is what do we do? We have to kill that guy, right? But how do we do that? kill it like this. You cannot kill it after. So it's kind of like more efficient to actually do this and trade a 5/4 into one of the Lich. And we hope for a top deck of a Kerrigan, I guess, right? But if we hope for a top deck of a Kerrigan, 5 damage is more efficient. But if he has another, we're just like dead instantly, right? I guess we're risking it. I guess we're risking and hoping for a good top deck. I don't see a way of us missing 5 damage here just to kill one Lich. If he has another, he just like kill, I guess. We need just a top deck of a Kerrigan to win this game right now. Exactly top deck of a Kerrigan and the game is won. It's 1 out of 19. Those are pretty bad odds, but sometimes it just like might happen. Leave something on the top of his deck. Okay. That was not the cards that I needed. Okay. Okay. Well, 50-50. Well, that was the hardest matchup, right? And we still had our chance here, obviously. Even after like all the all the start, everything would happen. A Kerrigan right here, right now, would clear the board. Provide us with a lot of steam with our Zergs out there, right? Which can give us more Hydralisks, which can give us like more damage overall. Plus, there is a board that he has to deal with, and we have like hero powers that actually hits hard. So that is like that is something. And I get another Destiny, obviously. Okay, not a bad matchup for us. We're like winning too badly there, right? Amphibious Spirit, that's kind of cool, but I don't believe like against a Destiny it will stick. It's kind of like more for turn 5, turn 6 kind of thing. Oh, that is a yeah, that's a full house, I would say. That's pretty decent. Okay, let's do spawning pool right now. I don't go for a second one. That's a question I ask. No, not really. Kind of well in my coin here. Hero power, okay. It's a weak turn 1. Turn 2, I mean. Now we go for spawning pool. And go for the first Zerg. So we have a few options next turn, right? We have exactly 4 mana for doing a Zergs plus an evolution chamber here. And that's a hero power. That's interesting. Zergs and evolution chamber. It's pretty good. That is really strong. It's 15 damage next turn. It's a lot. He doesn't have a way to do a corpse explosion yet, but he will be able to do that next turn. Try hard just to clear a little and gain some more corpses on. Okay. We can do up to 16 damage right now, right? Up to 16 damage. Feels like he wants extra, right? Healing death straddle plus steel. It's kind of interesting. Let's do that. Let's trigger it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good strat right now, right? So. Corpse explosion will clear everything. Okay. That's a lot of damage at least. Okay. Let's spawn as many tokens as possible. We'll still need yet another board clear here. Another corpse explosion. That's what he needs. He has exactly 3 corpses to clear everything out. But in case he doesn't, we have a lethal instantly. Don't tell me that is a threat. It's unbelievable sometimes, right? Another one. I guess we have no choice. Well, we can clear. I know Gamma, although we can clear that out. That's actually an interesting idea. Let's do that. I kind of like it. I don't know why he wanted exactly 1/1s on the board, just to, like, you know, just sit here. Okay, that is annoying now. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. That's yet another game, right? Because we don't really have a lot of options here. Like, this is our turn. We need another top deck of a Kerrigan here, unfortunately. Another top deck of a Kerrigan against a Death Knight. Is it like the same? Like, should we like keep it all the time, like in our starting hand? Because he'll have like all those glitches that are actually annoying, and you don't really want to deal with those. Well, that's it, right? That's it. He clears everything out. It has like a gazillion health, so you have another Lich, a 2-mana spell, it deals 2 damage and summons another. That would be just like brutal. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. That's a good turn, don't get me wrong, but that's a concede. Against a Death Knight, my brand. It's harsh. Well, they said that is the worst matchup for this deck, but, you know, I kind of hope he has like more chances so far. Where's our way out against that one? I guess, like, you know, I guess fighting for the board for him not to have like anything so far. It's weird as it sounds. Like, or maybe like if you have like a lot of X going on, right? A lot of X is kind of like hard for him to deal with.
No endless torment. Let the hunt begin.
Let's try that out. Let's just like mulligan, right? 4X. How about that? Or maybe like for a better start with Zergs. Maybe that is like, you know, something too. Well, that is a good start with Zergs, I would say. That's a good start with Zergs. And maybe a Kerrigan will be out there in this matchup for us in our hand. And, you know, it might happen. Might happen though. Maybe he'll have a slow start and 0 board clears. Not like the previous one, right? But my dude, like I ran a decam with both of the corpse explosions in it, which is like obvious, man. Okay, what is that? Base for 2? Really? So let's give him that, right? We're giving him this. And Zerg's next, right? Oh, that's cool. You can get the calls out of that one, no problem then. Creature of Madness. Well, that's what I call an interesting deck so far. And it's an interesting consideration if you're like, you know, all in on the dark gifts, kind of like want to discover Sinnies. Kind of want to discover Sinnies, right? Let's go for the Evolution Chamber here. That's an extra damage. And let's hope for no board clears. Strats on this turn is kind of fine for him. Like even now. Oh my god. Stonehill Defender. Oh my god, bro. What is that one? How much health? 7 health. Another Evolution Chamber, that is strong. That is actually really strong. 5. 5. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Pretty solid though. I like the boom, boom, boom in it, right? I like the boom, boom, boom here. Okay, let's go. Do you want the one to pray zone? In his page, just like to be managed. Okay, let's go. That's 1 extra damage, why not? Maybe that's the case. If he doesn't have a quartz explosion, he's just like dead instantly. But he top decks it. Oh, how convenient, bro. How convenient that is. Oh. Ooh, what a convenience. Okay, 0 mana Zergy. And 2 mana Hydralisk. A lot of damage to his face. I like that so far. Boom, you're at 3 HP. So he has a if he has a Hydro's Disc, he'll clear Zergs and heal for a lot, right? But we will be still able to actually finish him off. Okay, that was kind of like a better start for us, because it's turn 5 and he's at 3. Even though he had like a specifically forced explosion here. That's it? Really? That's it? No, that was not too strong, though. That was not too strong. Pretty decent game, right? So we are actually able to win a Death Knight. Actually able to win a Death Knight. That's exciting, though. Rexar. I guess that's a hunter. Interesting. Terrible Chef is something that I want to keep. Like, I kind of think the X sometimes is like everything we need on the board, you know? Because the previous game we just like played an egg which actually killed him, right? It was out there since 13. It consumed a leech hit, after that, it hit him for like what? For 3 damage out of a death trial, and plus like 4 more damage after, right? 4 more damage after the next and the following turn. It's a lot of damage. Plus, it's like, you know, it was actually really helpful on the board. Plus, it had like 2 damage on an egg by itself, right? After the buffs, so it's kind of like 9 damage from a 2-cost minion. With a minion on the board that he had to clear, and he was not even able to clear it with a corpse explosion. That's how huge that was. Oh, that's a good turn straight for us. Hydralisk is like, you know, a good turn 4, but I guess Terrorscale, if the terrible chapsticks, Terrorscale might just like do better.
Lush wilds and clear
Exactly. So you're still playing the old school, right? You're still playing the old school here. Interesting. Go twice as fast, though. Well, it's still a good turn 4 for us, if that happens, so. Mixologist tries to find 2 damage, right? Let's hope that doesn't happen, though. 3 damage into an egg, and after that I do damage him. That would be really harsh. But I guess he didn't find anything, though. Oh, he didn't have the mana. Oh, interesting. That's interesting that he didn't have the mana, though. Do you want a 4/4 on the board or a 3/5 that actually hits hard? Kind of think a 3/5 is better. That's nice. Well, have a decent board. Have a decent board. We have a decent turn 5 for us. with a lot of Zergs and Hydralisk, in case he somehow clears, right? In case he somehow clears, we have a really good turn after.
These could belong to a brand new species.
Good launcher, okay.
Finding.
Okay, he found some well user for him. That's, you know, exciting. Cannot like do an explosive turn here, unfortunately. With a Hydralisk and a lot of Zergs, but so in such a case we just like have to do as much damage as possible, and this is probably the way. This is probably the way. Still want those pineapples to be on the board. They're kind of like annoying. It's threatening, right? It's threatening. Have a lot of damage with a Hydralisk, that is surprisingly strong. Really aggressive deck, I like this so far. Glacier Shard just for sake of it. It's kind of like an old deck against the weapon rocks that was out there at some point. Interesting. Tracking. Tries to survive, I would say. Tries to survive. Tries to find aliens, right? Alien encounters. Do you have to damage him? Yeah, you do. Okay. So he decided to proc an egg. And procs death rails and went for alien encounters. Solid. Solid. Oh my god. How many do you get? And one more, I guess, right? Is out there. RC Rampage for us. We don't really have the bow, but we have a Hydralisk. And that is strong. That is strong. Let's do something like this for now. To maximize the chances for us to actually hit those. Didn't hit. Obviously. Obviously didn't hit. I actually had to probably trade a 40, right? Did it matter? Don't believe so, right? That's a huge bust, I would say, though. Dude, 3 alien encounters for 0 on turn 5. Give me a break. 3 alien encounters for 0 and a grief turn. It's getting so much bad, like so much worse though. See what again. To take control. Harsh. That's harsh for us. He stabilized like crazy here, and stabilized. We need an RC Rampage here, obviously, right? RC Rampage. 3, 4. So that is kind of like exactly enough, right? Okay. So we're starting Lisa. Okay. We are in the position that we dreamed of, I would say. To threaten this guy for lethal, but he has another alien encounters as far as I remember. At least, at the very least. Why didn't he play it last turn though? Maybe that was the top deck of third one. Maybe that was the top deck of third one, didn't like, you know, give the track and an iron.
shaking us stir.
Zoologist, okay. Do you find 2 damage to everything?
Quickly.
Oh, don't tell me, bro. Oh, just a +2. And some on the alien counter as well. Dude. How are you oh my. Oh, that was a good time back on time. Well, Kerrigan would be better, but that was a good one anyway. That was a good one anyway. I guess we have to hit twice. Not to waste like 1 damage from Hydralisk here. So bad shot, but we're trying lethal for some weird reason, and like, you know, Kerrigan is still an option for us. Kerrigan top deck is still an option for us, I would say.
Who could put a price on
Another grief time. Bro.
I could.
Well, nice card bag zone. Is it a new one? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I kind of like it. Look at this design, bro. Some kind of like voodoo stuff. That's pretty cool. Sweet. I guess it is probably for some kind of like, you know, some kind of like a donation scenario. You have to actually buy something to get some kind of like cool stuff like this. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's pretty freebie. I kind of like that. What a top deck. Exactly what I need, right? Exactly what I need. Okay, still in the waiting room for Kerrigan. It can actually save our game here. Just like, you know, if he has not really a strong turn, we top deck a Kerrigan, something like this. If that happens, we're still in the game. And I guess he found some kind of word clear, and that's assistless for 0. And that's assistless for 0. And guys, go. Okay. Let's play one more. Let's play one more. So far, the deck is really cheap, extremely cheap. Like, if you bought a StarCraft mini set, you know, like I did on this American server, right? Like before, I guess everyone will buy a StarCraft mini set, even though like a small version with Zergs, right? For 1,000 or for 1,200 goals, right? If you buy that, I had like all the cards except like 2 epics, right? I didn't have like NRC Rampage here on Americas, and I didn't have like the new card, how it's called, the bouncy scenario, right? Where is it? Not an evolution chamber. Where is this? Whatever. So Nydus Worm, evolution chamber. Still another like really good setup for Zergs. But I guess I don't really want an evolution chamber right now for me. But it's kind of like fine. Okay, welcome. A Workhorse, okay, that's pretty good. Spawn, okay. So that is an old school location. I didn't actually see a new. Well, I kind of saw a couple of new decks, right, for a Warlock. What were those? Sludge, and something else. No, that's a pure location. Pure location. What was added for a Warlock that was actually like, you know, buff and allocation Warlock here? I don't believe anything like was that good. Weird. We can do a Workhorse here. We can do Wands of Prey plus a Nerubian Egg, but we don't really have like a trigger for a Nerubian Egg. So Rampage is out there. We can do a Workhorse, like, or a Nydus Worm. Nydus Worm, or some extra Zergs. It's weird. Weird. Let's hope for a Hydralisk top deck, right? I guess this is a little stronger. As soon as this is a little stronger zone. Hydralisk top deck might just, like, you know, fight for the board for us. And just Worm, okay. Spawning pool, obviously. In an early game on turn 3, get another one. Oh my nose surprise. Okay, we have to apply some pressure here, I guess. We need some damage in his face. We cannot afford to help playing Nydus Worm here. Next turn is a see Rampage. Use that sticks. If he doesn't like remove anything so far, however, so much you can. Well, if he plays a giant, I'm just like pretty much dead. Oh, come on. I needed the hits to hit a mag, at least like once. Still understand Rampage. It's too strong to pass. It's too much of a damage, and Evolution Chamber just finishes him off next time. For now. Crystal Cove, really? They're still spawning like a 1-1-0 zone. It's not a copy anymore. Luckily for us. Okay, that's pretty good. Well, the rush thing, as I said, if he has the giants, they're pretty much dead then. Okay, don't kill the doggies, please. Thank you. Can see you. Okay. Keep draws, please. To get like 1-1 Zergs. And a Hydralisk. That's strong, but everything else is kind of like not really. You can try to high roll with a Hydralisk at 50-50 here. And an Evolution Chamber just to heal a lot. I think this is better. Got to try to high roll here. Well, that's better than nothing, I guess. Better than nothing, I guess. Okay, it's a lot of damage to his face. Mixologist, don't high roll at 2 damage, man. Please, for the love of... Don't do that to me. I guess he did. New Android card, okay. In the end. Refills his hand. At least he didn't find like one. At least he didn't find the giant, right? How much damage is that? 4, 12. That's it? God. Looking bad so far, extremely bad so far. Clears everything. Draw minions that cost 7 more. What the hell is that card? Oh, so that is how you actually draw your giants, right? That is so cool. Why didn't you kill that one? You could have, like, you know, draw the giants and place them for free here. You just try to high roll it anyway. Okay. He just high rolled it anyway, bruh. Ooh. Kerrigan is here. And a Hydralisk is here. Okay. Well, that was pretty decent. That was kind of cool. But we are, you know, we're so far behind. Can't even explain to you how much that is. Ultralisk cover, okay. So this card is like what actually made this deck stronger. Interesting. This card actually is nuts for this deck, right? Because that is an efficient way for you to get this giants. Now we still have our chance here. At least not to die. At least not to die. Yeah, exactly. That is also like the only 10 plus cost minions I would say. 7 plus cost minions I would say, right? Looks pretty good. Like Warlock is actually pretty decent against an aggro. But it is kind of like a fast deck by itself anyway, right? It's Kerrigan for him. Don't kill! Okay, thank you. Like I'm barely grasping the board here, come on. Give me some slack out there. Hydralisk kind of Zerglings. And we don't have the rush, right? We don't have the rush. We don't have the rush on anything.
What to choose? We adapt.
We adapt, Bram. So I kind of need to hit this and try to destroy that. Hey there, my friend Bursman.
Finally, I can rest in peace.
Welcome to the stream. Hope you like it here and enjoy it so far. We're still alive? No, not true. Oh, my. It's too much for me to handle. Well, as I said, like this deck, this is a top 1 performing deck right now on the ladder. Not on the highest ranks, obviously, but like overall. This was a top performing deck, and this deck had a pretty decent chance. Like the first games we played were pretty straightforward. We were able to win like without even a problem, without even like, you know, a slight glitch. But after that, like against control decks, something like a DK mid-range control ones, it kind of like struggles. But I guess any aggro struggles against like board clears, right? If you face in a deck that has like gazillion board clears, you will probably struggle as always, like as any other one, right? But against like another mid-range control-ish stuff, like a Warlock, that is the same problem because they have like a gazillion board clears, and they have like huge minions. And if you're not like ahead on the board, if they cleared it for like somehow, you might just like face the consequences because they will have like all those 8/8 on the board, and you don't really have the board, and you cannot like you don't really have removal. So you are like, you know, you have to be ahead with this deck. And sometimes like facing the decks like this might just like be pretty like, you know, pretty hard for you to deal with, because you kind of need a perfect start with all those Zergs, Hydralisks and stuff if they like high roll like crazy with 8/8 on like turn 4, for example, right? Eggs are pretty like helpful. Well, this deck is, as I said, it's really cheap. It's really cheap because you can like buy a certain amount of mini add-ins. It is like probably everyone has a Zilliax, obviously. And like, because Hearthstone is out there, like Zilliax is out there for like what, a year, right? And a Kerrigan, probably everyone has it already, and everything else is kind of like not a legendary. So the deck is extremely cheap. And I hope you guys will try that out. Amphibian Spirit was kind of like promising, but don't believe it was something like, you know, it's that efficient. I would say removing one copy of it, and it's like, you know, an epic card, to make a deck even cheaper, like removing even like 2 copies of it and adding some extra cards for an early aggression might be actually fine. Maybe just like get something like a bird watching to get your eggs out a little faster. It might be good enough. Jungle Doom is kind of like something to consider. Maybe something like Titan Forge Traps is pretty good so far as a 2 drops. Remote control is something for you to consider too, I would say. But you know, as far as it is, that is for you guys to actually think about that. Let me know in the comments if you have like some interesting ideas how to make this deck even stronger. But for now, that is it for Zerg Egg Hunter.